Shouting color is not a crime. Thousands rallied in Italy against racism and fascism. Rallies took place in Rome, Milan, Palermo, and here, the town of Macerata, where a gunman targeted black men and women during a 2-hour shooting spree last week.
We cannot accept that a person goes onto the streets to kill. These are children, people in the streets watching. This man went to the streets to kill as many black people as possible. I don't know what to call it other than a racist and fascist act.
Police arrested a 28-year-old white Italian man they say was the suspected gunman. A video posted on local media shows the suspect wearing an Italian flag around his neck at the time of the arrest.
I think it's extremely important to be here today because the situation in Italy seems very complicated. I don't think that politicians take enough notice of the phenomenon of the resurgence of fascism.
Many are warning that anti-immigration rhetoric has become part of the national dialogue. They fear this sentiment will influence the upcoming national elections on March 4th. Others warn that racism is nothing new.
I have been faced with the problems of racism here since my primary school days. There were children who called me a Negro. It is far from being a phenomenon that dates from yesterday or the day before with the shooting that took place. There has always been racism here.
The shooting in Macerata followed the arrest of a Nigerian man in connection with the murder of an 18-year-old Italian woman. While many say politicians need to do something about the resurgence of the far right, others believe it's inaccurate to lump all far-right parties and politicians with the same label.
I believe the far right and in general this entire idea of fascism revival in Italy shouldn't be exaggerated. The far right is definitely quite strong nowadays in Italy, but I believe especially abroad there is a tendency to generalize and put a lot of parties into the same box, which is not necessarily the case.
Far-right candidates call the influx of refugees out-of-control immigration. But Italy's prime minister has told his people hatred and violence will not be able to divide them. Chaderjian, Al Jazeera.